recording again. Alright, we got some Conquest Dark. We're just coming over from Megabomb. Thanks for bearing with me if you're in here watching. Appreciate it. Nice. Yeah, very good. You do really good stuff. Let me see. How do you upload a file? Do I have? I don't. Let me, hold on. I'll show you the picture that I gave the other artist to do off of. So when I was looking, I created some avatars. I don't know if you can hear me. I don't want to gum up my stream if I don't have to. I don't mind typing. I'm just asking you. Let me look first. Where are you? It's gonna be in here. Here we are. TIN. Upload a file. If you're watching me on stream, I'm communicating with somebody real quick. Bear with me. Here. So. You check you. So why are you? Okay. Well, I don't mind removing it if it won't. It's not gonna do anything. I got backups on my backups on my backups. I had, for those of you who also got affected by this, I had Windows delete my entire computer stuff or locked me out with BitLocker when they did one of their updates, and it jacked everything up. It was horrible. I was so angry when they did that. Alright, anyway, I am going to do some Conquest Dark. We're going to do another 15 tier one. I really, really like that. We're to the Moon Cliffs. We're at T15, yeah. Nice. Oh, it's okay. Yeah. Okay, back. We're gonna go back to the stream. Okay. We are gonna do Moonfall Cliffs. We're gonna do a big 15 tier, try to see how far we got. Last time we got to like round 9 or 10. You really have to get the drops good on this. It's a lot of luck. And we're gonna go human, Oathkeeper, and Veteran of War. We're gonna come up here and do re-rolls. And we are looking for a critical hit chance and solar damage, or a critical hit chance and movement speed. Solar damage and chance for rare items. I'll take that one. Why not? And we're gonna get Oathbringer. That's the one. We're gonna go ahead and just stand over here. If you guys like the music, this is White Bat Audio. You can find them on YouTube. And I got all his complete collection of stuff on a site called Bandcamp. So, very good. We're gonna get that bulwark. This build relies on reflected damage and block, getting that maxed out. And then we're going to be trying to get attack speed and some other stuff too. Get that level up, get the bulwark again. The max for the block is 70% chance or 75% chance. And after that, it doesn't really matter. So. Level up. Reroll. Aura of Soul. We always level this up first since it's we're gonna get that reach by 75% up. All resistances, movement speed, and do we want reach or speed? I'm gonna choose reach or speed, excuse me. Reason being is that we're gonna end up, these guys are gonna start making it to us pretty hardcore, and we're gonna need this guy to be flailing his mace around as much as possible. This is a pretty chill game. I like playing this when I kind of want to just almost sit back and relax. There are times when you're gonna have to move. That's okay. For now, we're just chilling and relaxing, kind of watching, and I'm trying to drink soda. Yapping too much. I want to get this up as much as possible. Look at this nerd. No chance for rare items. Get that aura leveled up. We're going to get additional rune slots. It's going to help us out. We already have one of these. All resistances, all resistances. Movement speed reduced. Resistance to piercing. Hit chance, hit chance. So that's more. We'll do this one because it's a matching set. We don't like any of those at all. We're going to progress to the Lightbringer is preferable. We'll get that mirror eventually too. That's a really good one. Up, quick dash. We like that over everything else. I don't like that primal shield charge thing, and I don't like the horses deal. I don't find them useful at all. I don't know if they're broken, or maybe I don't. I probably don't know how to use them. That's probably more how it is. Hopefully we get an armor set or something that drops us the, you know, get XP or whatever. Go ahead and get these sorcerers done in. And we're gonna get a bulwark again. We're nearly maxed out for that one. Once we get to the level 5 of bulwark and maybe the level 2 of ardent defender, we're gonna be looking to get some recovery to counteract that health. Hopefully we get some good armor set drops. We'll see. Okay. We're going to need an additional 10% for block chance. Bonus health, attack reach. I don't care for the other stuff, but that damage to elites is probably going to be good. Do we want bonus health or critical hit chance? I think we want hit chance. I'll get this aura up again. We're going to go to sun and damage to healthy since they're coming into contact with that first. This is going to give us a lot better damage on our reflected block, that mirror. We'll go ahead and get the recovery just to have it on deck. We don't get any more bonuses out of having these, so we're gonna get these sun blessed ones just so we can get that extra block chance. That's really gonna be particularly useful for us. what do we have? So we have 2 more slots, so we're gonna do chance to burn, and then we're gonna do the, you know, extra damage to burning, and that's really gonna get us good. Coming up on when we re-roll our defender. So we have the bulwark maxed out. Yep, we do. Okay. We're not doing very good on that deflected block damage. We need to get that up considerably. I'm going to go ahead and move out to the side and take these guys out. Just take them out. Get them cleared out. Because the spellcasters really get you if they get to too many numbers. Leveled up again. We'll get that Ardent Defender. I'm going to go ahead and stand back in the middle here and see what I see. We're not doing too bad, like 75%. You know, they're not quite making it to us. So we're gonna re-roll. Get that Ardent Defender again. Maxed out Ardent Defender. And we're going to be looking for that flash of light to get that attack speed up. Because as you can see, you know, if you break down that inner circle down into thirds, they're making it to the 1/3 at 2/3 space left. And we don't want them to be making their way to us too hard. Okay, we're going to go ahead and max this one out now. Damage to burning. And re-roll. And we'll do damage to healthy because we have that on our thing. We have that set. That's actually a really good. Gonna make us do a lot of stuff. An XP salt, yes sir. That's gonna help out quite a bit. We're gonna go for the amount here. You want those XP souls. That really helps you, especially toward the end game, especially toward what getting out there. See what I'm talking? How they made it? They're starting to make it to us now. And it seems like they got like 1/3 health. We're gonna hit this flash of light, and that's gonna do a little bit better for us. They're kind of getting us in the health. Just taking about 1/5 of it away. You're gonna go Critically at chance. Sacred Hammer. What do we have here? Damage to elites. I am thinking that we need to get that recovery. Just to stay ahead of the stuff. And we're gonna go Radiance. We're gonna get the Praise the Sun one too. And we're gonna end up, before it's all said and done, we're gonna max out everything. If we end up surviving that long. And then we are going to preferably prioritize reflected damage, some form or fashion, XP, and health. Go ahead and move around here and get all these. Since they like to die on the outside. Also, if we can get a Soul Absorb, there will come a point when, like yesterday, I was doing that, and then I ended up not having to move, and I could get all the souls from the entire map. We're gonna go ahead and max out the recovery. Then we don't have to worry about it anymore. We can focus on the remaining 3 or 2. And we still got our mace completely to get done, and the hammer's got one more. Yeah, get that. This hammer. What we got here? We'll get the increased effectiveness of sun runes. Healing soul and hit chance. And we'll reroll on that. Reroll again. And we'll go damage to healthy, because that's what's in our, that's what our equipment is. Ooh, come over here and get some nice drops. Alright. We are going to do the spawn the XP soul for sure. Movement speed, yes, we're gonna need that. We need to stay ahead of that too. I didn't do too much with the attack speed, solar damage, burn. That's gonna play into our stuff. But this hood is really good too. I'm gonna go with the gauntlets. And I'm gonna go attack speed. And artifact damage. Yes. Oathbreaker. Instant attack chance. Rerolls. We don't know what else we'll do. We'll do instant attack chance. That's nice. Good drops. Good drops. Oh, more drops. Movement speed. We need to absolutely get that. I learned my lesson last time. Damage to healthy. A little bit of an increase. Oathbreak bringer. We're gonna do critical hit damage and critical chance. And we're gonna do radiance. So that's going to give us more hits before they get to us, and the more we can keep them away, the better. Distance equals time. get the flashlight. Kind of bring those up in tandem, and then we'll probably get that burning one on the next go, depending on how we're doing. If we start getting a little overwhelmed before we level up again, get more attack speed, because that's preferable. Too shabby. Sorry. I don't know how to get my mic any better to not pick up my coughs, or when I'm setting my drink back down on the table. I have one of those fold out plastic like picnic tables or whatever that you see at a farmer's market. I bought it at Walmart 2013 for like $20, and I tell you, it's I went to go shop for desks the other day, and you can't even get a decent one for less than like $260. And then I was like, well, I can weld. I used to have a woodworking business. Why don't I just build one? And just for me to build one, it would cost me, just in materials, for a basic one, I'm talking like the one that I have now, just the legs, just tabletop, that's it. No like little elevated thing for my monitor, no like I wanted some little storage options and stuff, because I got some books on here and everything, and I wanted my mic and everything to have a little bit better space and laid out better. $363 just for the metal and the wood, and that's me doing it myself. That doesn't include paint. I have most of the other material. That doesn't include any of that other stuff. Insane. That is insane. Right, so we're gonna do radiance again, just because it's gonna keep them out. Oh, armor. We don't need solar resistance. For a bit chance. I think we're coming up here pretty quick. We're going to have to start moving around. Holding still is not going to do us any good, because I think we're coming up on our kind of like our max damage kind of cap. We're going to do radiance again, just because it's flinging those hammers around really good. And the boss is done. Very nice. That's a scroll. Critical hit damage. Now we're going to do critical hit chance. Oh no, damage increase per life loss. We absolutely going to do that. Alright, attack speed and solar damage. Yes, sir. Could do all damage, but we're mainly focused on the solar. And quick dash. What do we get for this? Rerolls. That's nice. Make short work of this boss. Get them drops. Reflected damage on block. Thank you very much. We're going to increase that block chance because we didn't have that maxed out for some reason. We're going to increase that attack reach. Okay, attack speed, solar damage, and burn intensity. Or we're going to do a reroll. And we screwed that up. We're going to do all damage though. Should have went with that first bit of drops. And we're gonna try to get one of those XP ones if we can. XP, so attack speed. That's probably the better, but we want the XP because leveling up is going to be really important. Max out that radiance. I think we're gonna go for maxing out the flash of light next. And I would expect a caravan here at some point. I really like this blue map, this moon map. It looks cool. And I don't really quite understand. What does the unlimited power do? What does that give you? Does that increase everything that you're doing? Like, I don't get it. I don't comprehend it. Critical hit chance, movement speed. Yeah, we're gonna get movement speed because we're gonna be needing that here pretty quickly. Pretty soon you're going to have to move. Like we won't have the ability to stick around in one location because we will just die. We'll have to be bobbing and weaving at everything. And we're going to go damage increase per life loss. I like that movement charge too, but light. We're gonna get it all eventually, but right now we have things that are making it to us, and so being able to hit really quickly is gonna be saving our bacon. And then after boss. Also, it helps take the bosses down a lot quicker too. We don't any of that. We will do solar damage up. Ooh. I'm gonna take that XP. Yep, yeah. We're at the stage where we get a kind of move. We don't have to run them so far and do tight circles because they're not stopping us. Get out of the center there. That was the only drop it seemed. We are going to max out the flashlight. You're going to get that movement speed. And re-roll. We get all damage. feel like I really have to move right now. I feel like I'm just doing. Let's see. How are we doing? Yeah, we lost it. See what I mean? Gotta keep moving. Go all damage. It's not very good drop. Austin gives pretty good drop. Where's the caravan? Last time I think it came around this level and we were just too weak to really do anything. Speed resistance to piercing, reroll again, reroll again, increase that chance to burn. Reroll. Block chance and damage to 8. There we go. Now our block chance is maxed out. Wasn't before. Boss done up good. For the loot, bro. Chance to burn with solar damage. Reroll. All damage. Attack speed, reroll. Damage per life lost. The reflected would have been good too. But we're coming up on the point where we're gonna start losing our lives here. I don't know if we'll be able to make this armor. We'll do a chance to spawn a healing soul just because it'll help us out just a little bit. We could do with another movement charge. Praise the sun. We have another armor over here. Movement speed. I want to stay ahead of these groups. Not going to help us that much. I think I made it like 75% without on my last run. And it just, I still get bogged down by these guys. Energy cost, movement speed per life loss. That'll help us out. Rune gem. We're gonna do XP soul because that's gonna help us level up quicker. Let's get our stuff. There's armor. Reroll. Movement speed. Praise the sun. This armor up. Chance to burn with solar damage. Healing soul. Or critical hit chance. We'll do... I don't think that is really... I don't think that matters all that much. Healing soul or critical hit. I don't like any of those. Movement speed. That's going to be more useful for us. This is no test, since most of the enemies that are on the map at the moment are archers. I see a message from you on Discord. What? Game bar PS. Okay, yeah. Cool. Appreciate it. Alright. Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I can do that here in a minute. I don't mind sending you a picture. I took a... Hold on, I got it. Later. Yeah, I wouldn't want to... I don't want to make you have to do that. Discuss stuff on the stream or whatever. I get it. Where's this dude? Come here, nerd. Okay, what do we get? We're gonna go ahead and get that scroll 3 so we can get the drop. None of that is worth anything. No damage to elites. Solar resistance. That does anything for us, given that we're on a moon map. Level up. Final praise the sun. Now everything we choose will be unlimited power. And we have that rune in the center. We're gonna go to damage that. That's a pretty considerable amount. Lost a life. Another life. Oh, that sucks. I'm gonna up that movement speed. Just to stay out of the group. Get that rune. Gonna increase the attack reach. Put a little bit more time inside of that before they reach us. Now they release the caravan on us. Killing soul and critical hit chance. Got this guy down. Damage to injured by 25%. That's pretty considerable. There we go. And go damage to elites. That'll help. I don't think we quite got the drops. I don't think we quite got the drops. Just the luck of the draw. We're doing the best we can with what we got. These are not generally the games that I like to play, like Megabomb, this Conquest Dark. In general, I like to play other ones like Skyrim, Call of Duty, or Battlefield style. Let's get this guy out to the edge when he drops his stuff. We're not having to fight these people in the center. Damage to healthy, which is something that we have in our thing. Get us out of here. Unlimited power. That's an easy choice. That drop. Reroll. Solar damage, please. Which is without, well, that's our aura, is solar or whatever. That's that. Back in the center, get this drop. And we want all damage. A little bit better, giving us some distance. Some stuff. These enemies are quick. If I didn't get all this movement speed, I would be right in this leading edge. It's like closest to me, and they would actually be slowing me down. Oops. Drop something. A little bit narrower. We can keep this guy in the center in our stuff. Now we're going to get these guys away from that. Back in toward it. Hit chance and hit damage. All damage and hit chance. We're going to do that. We got a bunch of these silver skull chips or whatever, these coin things. And that's a chip with a CHIP. And which is nice because then we can unlock some other character stuff and get their stuff all leveled up too, and we can play doing other stuff as well, like other play styles. I don't know how the heck you do a build for something else. enough. This soul gem fragment. Go on. Power ability damage, primary attack ability damage, primary. I don't need so. Whatever it is, we just increased it by 40%. We are doing multiple hundreds of damage on each one of our things. So yellow or orange. One thing we're not doing a lot of damage on is the white number, and the blue is obviously too. Reroll. Reroll. I guess that's all we have. And we are stuck in this group, this gaggle. We got freaks. That helps out. It was looking like coming to the end. About where I made it last time. I think I got a lot better drops. I'm having to work a lot less harder to get this going. We're gonna go ahead and just sit it out right in the middle. We're not gonna last long. We got nice. So we got that sword unlocked, whatever the heck that is. And it's just, we ain't got nothing to do to it. Let's do some this. Same thing again. Critical hit damage and critical hit chance. That's just go ahead and do that. Bringer. And we'll sit in the middle. And hopefully this will make editing my videos a little bit better. I gotta find something that doesn't increase the gigabyte level of my videos after I edit them. DaVinci Resolve absolutely wrecked those videos that I was doing. I mean, it produces good quality videos, but I took a 4-hour video or whatever, and I got like it was like 4.5-hour video, and I split it between the Megabonk and the Conquest Dark, and it increased, like, so the original video that was 4 hours long that was recorded by OBS was 9.6 gigabytes, and then when I edited the video, and all I didn't put anything out, all I did was just cut it. I cut the excess out at the beginning, like my I do this thing where I get on the stream and I'm kind of still sort of setting up. I cut that out, and I cut where the Megabonk and the Conquest Dark met, and then turned it into 2 videos. And the Megabonk video was 44 gigabytes, and the like hour-and-a-half long video of Conquest Dark was like 19 or something like that. That's insane. Why does it do that? I don't understand. I'm gonna have to solve that problem. I have enough storage space and everything, but I'm just not into having to wait 3 hours to upload. You know, like a 1 hour, hour and a half video. It usually takes like 30 minutes or something. Anyway, all resistances. We're gonna go with this one. Or I like that rare items too. We're gonna go ahead and get that just because. Absolutely, we're getting projectile amount. Yeah. So since I got you all here anyway, I am going to be kind of redoing what I do, and most of it's going to be off, not redoing. I'm going to reorient. Every time that stuff doesn't work out the right way and in such a way where it's like detrimental, it's always good to change that, you know. And so what I've been doing is off stream, like every day I do 4 hours of total between hacking and coding, and I either do 3 hours of hacking, which is like 90% of the time, and I do an hour of coding. And then the one day that I do, or the 2 days that I do 3 hours of coding, I do one on stream and one off stream, which I have no problem with. That's actually fine for me. Let me read this. All resistances, movement speed, passive ability damage, increased reflect damage. We're going to do damage on block. And attack reach. So I don't have a problem with that, but like when I'm on my own or off stream or whatever doing that, I will literally read until I get so tired I can't see straight, or you know, like right through. And what's happening is that I'm just scanning the words with my eyes and not really absorbing the information. And so I'm thinking that it would be better if I kind of took more time, like, you know, did like half hour and then do break and then half hour and then break. My problem is that I have chickens, bunches of them. And so you got to do chicken stuff. You got to get up and let them out every day. You got to put them back in every day. Some food, some water. Near like a few times a month, I'm running out there to protect them from predators because we free range them. And so it just eats up a little bit of time. And for those of you who cook, I also cook meals, and that takes up time as well. And you know, I cook like from scratch, so you know, you got, like, I don't buy my sauce and then pour my sauce. I make my sauce. You know, so if I'm making chicken fettuccine Alfredo, I'm doing chicken breast covered in Italian breadcrumbs. I'm either baking it or frying it, and then I'm, you know, noodles. Obviously, I don't make the noodles, and then the sauce is cream and Parmesan cheese and a little mozzarella for some stickiness or whatever. But do this one. Mirror. Damage to healthy. Why not? since it's early on. Lord of Soul. Over here, we get 2 additional rune slots. Go back to the center. Anyway, so what I've been trying to do is get up earlier in the morning and stick to this schedule. Oh, I also do workouts and stuff. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays too, which are anywhere from half an hour to 2 hours, depending on what I'm doing. Or how I'm doing it, rather. Anyway, I've been trying to get done around, with all of that, around 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. And what that does for me is gives me like 45 minutes to an hour before I have to we have that. If we get 3, we get all resistances. Or do we want rare items? We have this. We have the 2. All damage or attack reach. Chance for rare damage. Yeah, we're gonna do this one. Anyway, it gives me a little bit of time to get some breathing room after I do my hacking and my coding and my workouts and my live streams and my farming, and then get that recovery, and then I get to roll right into cooking some dinner, and then after that you're looking at like 5:30 to 6:30, usually about 6:30 to 7, and then from that time till I go to bed, I'm pretty free on doing what I want. That's what I'm doing. I'm watching like extra videos on just peripheral stuff related to what I'm doing. Trying to relax my brain, and then at night I've been getting on here and doing streams of games for like an hour to 3 hours. So what might end up happening is I might end up extending the time. So instead of doing like an hour straight and then take a break and then another hour straight, take a break, and so on, I might do half an hour and then take a break, which will, you take like 10-15 minute breaks. What's that? That's 6. That's an hour. So it pushes me back an hour, which is fine. It just means that I'll have more time. I'll be doing more stuff at night. I don't necessarily like that. I like to just get it all done. But ultimately, it is really like working. I mean, it's like I'm doing like a full-time job. I mean, I start at 6 and I go till 2 to 3 p.m. And then if I have to run around and do anything, like tomorrow's fortunate because I can go to town. I'm out of sodas, but usually that doesn't happen. So if I go to town, that adds another hour for me, and then that kind of jacks up my schedule too. So what do I need to hear? All resistances, attack speed, damage, bonus health. These 2 are the same. And now, I don't like any of those. None of those are going to give me any. Oh, great. Just give me the same thing again. How about again? Barrel. Oh no. My attack reach. Gives you bonus health, all resistances. Sunblast Coif. That block chance. And we get 10% more resistance. Very nice. And we're gonna do damage to elites. It's good, just passively. Anyway, so I'm thinking about doing that, which will probably extend some of what I'm doing into the evening past dinner. I don't know. I just don't want to, like I would rather have my stuff last longer and have less free time and have the things that I'm trying to learn stick than I would get done early, just to relax. But then again, you don't want to burn out. A lot of the stuff I'm doing is notorious for doing that to people. And I actually have experienced that with this a little bit. I was waking up and nonstop doing what I was doing with the coding and the hacking for like 6 months straight. And I got so burnt out, I couldn't even look at a screen. We're gonna get this passive ability damage because I think that is this aura to soil here, this big old circle we have around us, which will help out. Yeah, so I don't know, something's gotta change. I want to make sure that I'm getting I'm retaining the information. I'm in the process of knocking the rust off of me from taking a break. And once I get caught up to speed again and back at the level that I was at, I think that I'll be feeling just fine. Attack force, target amount, or attack speed. We're gonna reroll on that. Reroll again. And we're gonna do XP. We're gonna do block chance. I know we have another bulwark. What's this? There we go. Chance to burn with solar. Ability damage and projectile amount. Probably gonna help us out a lot. Primal resistance and artifact damage by 50%. Primary attack ability and damage to health. Where are we at? Tier 2. We'll do this one. Yeah, so because where I was at right before I stopped, I was working on getting better at report writing for the pen test reports, and I was pretty dang confident that I would pass the hacking portion of the certification that I'm going for. I mean, like, I was I was solid. Like, I was like, I know this, I can't get it wrong. I've practiced this repeatedly. I'm doing golden on that. And I started working on the report writing. I got a report template together, so it would be easy. I mean, I already have that. Done up, and I even have where the reports go. The individual things that you need to adjust. I put like markers in there so I can do a find and replace, and so it makes it a lot easier on me. But you gotta make sure that you're finding the right thing when you're reporting it, because it doesn't help you if you find the right vulnerability and then you go report it and you don't put the right CVE score or CVSS score in the CWE thing in there, you know, like the code. That's not gonna help the people out. And this is like it's like a professional level test, so you wanna make sure that you get this. Wait, damage to burning. You go damage to healthy. Because I think we're gonna be able to do that damage to burning. Reroll. Good. Save your hammer. Good damage to burning. We have a maxed out block chance, and that is going to give us, so we don't have to max out the bulwark right away. We can focus on other things. The hardened offender. Yeah, so I gotta figure out a way that I can kind of do this information. I think the reason why, too, is it's mildly boring having to, you know, refresh all of the stuff that you spent so much time doing. So when I'm learning new things, I'm like really excited. I'm obsessed. Like I'll sit there, I will talk about it in my head. I will like think about it. I'll like look up YouTube videos to watch about the subject just to passively absorb some information. So boost effect, some sun runes. We have maxed block chance, so we'll go attack reach. Flash of light. We should get that radiance up though, because you see how they're starting to get closer. It means they're going to start hitting us, and we're going to need more healing. Yeah, so I think that that's what's going on with it. So it's mostly going to be a change on my end. But I might kick the streams back, because I'm doing them at 10, so I'm done at 1. Boost. Let's see. Chance to spawn an XP. So and the thing is too, when I'm going through like all these refreshers and these notes, I'm doing this stuff on stream. Like I had an abysmal second stream for my juice shop hack, where I did like a self-induced error. I've talked about this, and it's on other stuff too. But I talked about this. Like I copied a web request, then I changed the web request. Then I was running it through the tools and was like, oh, I don't know why it's working. I got it right that it was me that was the problem. I'm the problem, it's me, you know. And I knew from having done it before that the word list that I was using was correct. I checked it against my notes. The command that I was entering was correct. That was filtering the size. There's just like no reason that I shouldn't be getting this answer right. And I kept looking at the web request. What am I doing wrong? I resaved it, redid it a couple times. I was just being dumb. And then I was like, oh, yeah, I removed a pair of quotes out of there. And man, I suck. And it's like stuff like that. And then today on Try Hack Me, when I was doing that, it was I was just missing, like, really, my brain was overcomplicating stuff. I've gotten used to looking at like actual in production systems, and there's just so much more obfuscations there. And so in my mind, I'm making it more difficult than I think that it needed to be. That's my excuse anyways. But it was like really comically simple things that I was missing. You know, it was literally right in front of my face, and I'm like, well, that's probably not it, because that's too easy. And then I'd skip over it. But maybe that's just a matter of training myself to not listen to that part of my brain when it says those things. I don't know for sure. But anyway, we'll get it. We'll get back up to where we were. Because I remember so I've done 2 live streams on Try Hack Me totaling 6 hours. And I remember being farther along on, not Try Hack Me, on Juice Shop, excuse me. I did Juice Shop stream for 6 hours in total. And in that 6 hours, I got farther in before. Like, it took me a half hour to get farther than I am on 6 hours now. Just because of taking my eyes off of this stuff for 4 months. But the good news is that when I'm going in through the course off stream, I'm like, oh, okay, that's like, now I remember. And it's like all coming back to me really quickly. And as I'm going through the course, it's, I'm like doing it really fast. And I'm not even copying and pasting the commands that I have saved in a file. I'm just doing it right from the beginning. And I'm even, so like the guy's going over the thing, and then before he gets to the part where he's using the tool and typing in the command, I'm typing the command in and I'm waiting. And then he gets to that, and I'm like, oh yeah, I got it right. So as soon as we knock that rust off, I'm gonna look a lot better. Not that I really care. The failure's the good part of it. That's what learns you. So I'm all excited and awake talking about it because it's real fun for me. I want to get to the point where I've been like wanting this certification now for like a year. I've been really, really wanting it. So I am going to be just ecstatic when I can actually take the thing. Even if I fail. I mean, that'll probably be a setback for me or whatever, but even if I fail, I don't care. At least I will have attempted it after all of this extremely difficult, hard work, long and arduous, monotonous, tedious, you name it. So, I will be happy that I took it. And I would bet that I'm going to pass it. If not the first time on the retake that you get for free, or, you know, included with your test. And the reason being is because I'm not going till I get it right once, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm doing it till I can't get it wrong. And that's an important distinction to make. And I'm not focused on like, oh, how do you exploit this bug? How do you where is it found? Whatever, like, you know, the questions that people generally ask. Like, if you were to get into this immediately and start like just YouTubing it, you're going to be asking the wrong questions of yourself. Go ahead and max that out. And movement charges, yeah. That's really going to help us out in the long run. But I'm like trying to focus on developing the mindset and the process, because these are systems that you're dealing with. And systems are either implemented properly, meaning misconfigured, or there's just inherent flaws in how they're all linked together. And so if you kind of know that and you develop the mindset, then you're not focused, because the exploits are actually easy, and most of the time you are getting past, like for example, XSS. If you find out that an XSS is present, which is cross-site scripting, it's a JavaScript injection attack. That means, like, once you do that, it's just a matter of going and getting a pre-made payload, and then you have to modify it slightly for either the technology that is present on the system, or you have to what do you call it? You have to like bypass the block or out list or whitelist or blacklist, or encoding. And so all you do is you just sit there, and again, that's systematic too. Like, and you can tell a lot of times when you're doing those things what it's stripping out. A lot of times you can kind of get a sense of what it's doing based on the responses that it provides. And so that part is like the easy part, but everybody focuses on that. And I would rather learn where these occur, how they occur, what they look like, so I have a lot better basically situational awareness about that stuff. Go Radiance. Yeah. That's kind of like my mindset and where I'm going. And so it's not if, it's when this stuff is going to be happening. And the whole time you're going to watch me fumble and fail and, get frustrated with my stuff, especially the coding stuff. I got a lot of that coming up too. I've actually been thinking about that. I was just learning something today about linked lists with the data structures and algorithms. And it said that one of the things that it's useful for is undoing and redoing things. And that's one of the functionalities that my app that I'm going to be coding up is going to need. So it's good to learn that stuff. I was going to skip over that and just get to the coding and implement it, but I decided to learn about that stuff because I know how useful, or I keep hearing how useful it is. But it's kind of like I did some coding in school. I took like an intro to computer science course, and that was one of the harder portions of it back in the day. At least that's what I found. It's hard. But like I said before earlier today, the fires of tutorial hell are still singeing us in the ass so we're gonna have to struggle through, and I'm gonna be using some AI and the documentation. Mainly the AI to ask it questions like, hey, how would I do, like I did earlier. I did this earlier. I went, how do you get user input to input the key for the key value pairs on a dictionary? And then it gave me a little example to implement, and it's probably wrong or coded messed up or whatever, but it gave me a what do you call it? Like a start. Like, okay, at least I have something to go off of, because I would just sit there and be like, like that. And then I think that I still haven't finished rewriting and making it pretty. The notes that I went over on the first dev stream to basically kind of piece out the program and see what its individual components are and get that fleshed out. I got kind of wrapped up in looking for the ballistic calculations, and that is, I tell you, like, that might be the thing. If I can't find a way to implement that, like either through a Python library for physics, or I found a couple Python libraries for ballistics, but one of them is in Russian and I don't read the vodka runes, and another one has a lower accuracy rating, like it has like it has like a plus or minus 20% accuracy, whereas if I use just physics, it will have a plus or minus 10%, which I'm not looking for a very precise model, because there are people doing that right now, and that requires extremely precise equipment and massive amounts of testing. I used to work for a defense contractor doing that, and so, like, I mean, you have to have radar, Doppler radar that tracks the trajectories. You have to have specialized muzzle velocity chronograph type things, you know, not consumer grade stuff like what I have. And so there's, meaning what I'm getting at with that is that there's no point in me trying to eke out any amount more accuracy than what I'm capable of currently doing right now. I don't think it wouldn't help. It's not going to make it better, and it's not going to make it any better than what's currently on the market right now. And I probably wouldn't sell this app. And if I did, it'd just be like $1. But I'm doing it for me too, so I can use this, because I am tired of writing everything down in a book and then putting it on an Excel spreadsheet with all these calculations that somebody else has done. So we will see. Go here. Collected damage always better. Yeah, so if we can, I think that would be the thing that killed my progress a lot. So I'm going to be working on trying to figure out how to do that. And some of those dev streams is going to be me looking through a bunch of documentation, and then initially it won't be that much coding, and then as time goes on, the coding will get more and more and more. But to be fair, like I said, my off time, I watch a bunch of other stuff to kind of see what's what. I watched a bunch of dev streamers. 90% of those dudes just sit there with a freaking code editor open with a little bit of code on it, and they're just running their faces. So I think if I get in there and I'm doing some actual coding on some interesting stuff, I think people really enjoy that. Also, I got a ton of views on the dev streams. People seem to like those, and the Mega Bomb looks the best, and the Juice Shop for some reason. We'll have to see how the Try Hack Me video does. I'm gonna get that uploaded. And the spider's got some move and some life. So yeah, that's kind of like what's going on, where I'm at with everything, what I'm going to be doing. But I like to talk it out and then write it out when I'm talk it out and write it out, so that way I have something that I'm working toward. Because I mean, you can tell by me talking that I'm more or less scatterbrained or whatever. So I really need to be organized for efficiency and to make sure that I'm doing what I need to do in organized fashion. So, you know, that's how you knock down goals. That's how you get stuff done, you know? And it all seems insurmountable. Like, if I think about it, like that app is kind of like in my brain. I'm like, dude, you're not gonna be able to do that. You can't even get past the coding portion. You know, you're not gonna be able to do this as good as you think. But that's what goes on in my brain when I'm doing this. But then I'm like, yeah, but if I don't try to do it all at once, then it'll probably work out. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's a small portion, something stupid like one of the things I was thinking about, you know, like, hey man, just do the muzzle velocity portion where it takes the combined muzzle velocity data that you have, stores it in a list, gets the min, the max, the average, the standard deviation, the variance, and all that. These are important calculations that you need for other calculations, or just actually also so you know, right? So that'll probably be the first thing that I do, just, you know, for my brain, so it's like, you know, you can do it, right? And then I think after that, connecting that to a matplotlib, which gives you like a line graph. And then so I have a bunch of data that I've already done this on in the ways that I talked about before. And I think that entering that data in and then comparing it to what I already have, I mean, it's going to show me exactly if I'm right on track or not. So I think that that's what I'm going to do initially. And when I do that, if, like, you know, I'm successful, and initially I won't be, I'm 100% certain I'm going to run into problems, bugs, issues, things I'm going to beat my head against the wall for. But once I get past that, it's going to give me a lot of freaking motivation to keep going. I'll be like, oh man, I got this. Until I hit those freaking physics calculations. I'm not kidding. There's like 1, 2, 3. There's at least 7 to 10 calculations that you have to do to make that all kind of come together. And it is like, I'm straight up, I don't think I got to that level of math in college. I got to like linear algebra, right? And I did statistics. And I genuinely, like, when I was looking at that math, it wasn't like I'd seen those symbols and stuff before and everything. But it's like, to get one of those symbols, you have to do like 4 or 5 different math calculations. And then that gets you one of the symbols in one of the equations. And there's like 12 different symbols, right? And some of them are real simple. Some of them's like, you know, you take I have like 100 data points for muzzle velocity. And so if I do that and I just get the average, it's going to ballpark it. But you know, you don't want to bake in any kind of not variance, but inaccuracy. You want to minimize that as much as possible. But like some of the little things are pretty easy to put in, and some of them are constants. But the ones that aren't, you have to do a buttload of calculations just to figure out. You know, it's just like, you know how, like, to figure out standard deviation, one of the things you need is variance, right? So we'll see. I really don't know how that's gonna go, but I am hopeful, just because I know for a fact that there are Python libraries that have to do with physics, and I found 3 I found 4 separate Python libraries for ballistics. And so I might use one of those as a filler or a placeholder until I can get that done. But so like the level of stuff that I would like it to have, like I said, you would need like a facility and a bunch of scientific equipment to be able to even measure that accurately. And then you would have to know how to do the calculations to measure that accurately and account for it, which you can do. It's not out of the realm of possibility. But with the consumer grade equipment that I have, and I don't have the ability to do that. Like I would have to get, I mean, you could get a lab radar. That's easy to get. That's only like $500. But some of the other stuff you'd have to get, I mean, you'd have to do that. And then once you did that, you have to do massive amounts of testing, right? And it took me a long time just to get one projectile, brass, primer, and powder combination that worked, to the point where like I expended all of the materials and got a different lot number of most of all the other things except for the primers, and it literally changed it by enough that I had to redo the test. So there's those considerations too. And we're talking like I don't know how to explain it, but like the job that I worked at before, it was straight up, it was science stuff. You know, we'd set up these tests. We'd have all of this equipment surrounding these things, and we would be out there testing. Like just for as an example, we did a half-hour test, or not an hour and a half test one time, and I looked at the sheet that we had for the customer. They paid the company $1.2 million for that hour and a half test. That's how, like, you know, and we had 3, 6, 7, 8. We had 9 people doing on that. I mean, in total on that one test. We had to have a guy come and weld some piece of like tank armor up to a skeleton to shoot at it. We had 3 testers. I was one of them. They had two electronics guys, the manager, and I think somebody else. I can't remember. But I mean, it was insane the amount of people that we had on that. So yeah, I mean, it takes a lot to do that, and you know, you have to have, I mean, I have the ability, like the space to do something like that, like for a range or whatever, but I don't have the equipment. And so there's, like, in reality, there is, even with what I have, there's only a certain level of accuracy I'd be able to get to, which is really all you need. Because if you can get yourself just with the calculations and doing the basic right off the bat, right? Then what you do is you go out and you do the range and you confirm your stuff, and you take more measurements. And then when you get more measurements in a larger data set, it gives you a lot better information, and you end up getting like that amount out. Right, and so you can remove that 10% error, and you can get that down to 1% error just by testing your stuff and making sure that you have that you've gone to put the thing through its paces. And here's the thing, coincidentally, by the time you get to that point, then your actual system starts to have wear and tear to the point where you need to replace a component, and then you gotta nearly start this process over again. And so it just becomes like you're fighting time, component availability, and system durability. It's kind of weird. So it's like this ever-changing, ongoing sort of thing. And then the only thing that really, the thing that would stay the same or get better nearly always is your ability to implement this. And so, in reality, you are as much investment in time and energy that you put into that will get you closer to what you want to be doing. If that makes sense. I know I ramble a lot, but this is not a gaming, it's a gaming stream. It's not a gaming channel. I am more doing that other stuff that's related. Okay. Oh, time we leveled up. Damage to burning. We're gonna go ahead and do that with bonus health. But yeah, so it's pretty crazy. But I think that the thing that is different about what I'm offering, and again, I have not seen, I haven't paid for any kind of apps that are out there or really looked at them. I don't use a lot of apps on my phone anyway, but, and I, I do on my computer or whatever, but not those kind. I don't really know what's out there or if people have combined this. I don't think that what I'm thinking about is anything revolutionary or industry changing or anything like that, but it's useful. And it's something that I know I have this problem and I need to solve it for me. And it's an excellent opportunity to use that as an excuse to implement, getting better at coding. So for me, it's like a double, two birds, one stone sort of thing. And I think that is going to be ideal, Get my butt kicked. So that's why I'm doing it. And I'll be happy to have that. Because like I said, right now, so I have to take that data that I collect. First of all, I have to do all that, which, that takes time. Like, so if I went to go do that right now, and I worked up one of these tests, it would probably take me like 3 hours to get everything set up, ready to go, made up, tested, measured, documented. I have it all written down, and then it would take me literally all day to do the test because of the time that you have to wait. So then once I had that, then I'd have all that data, and then I could enter it in. Once I had all that data, I actually have something that gets a lot of the calculations for you as you're doing it, but I didn't always. And what you have to do is you have to take that, and then you have to enter that into a calculator, and you got to find all that information. The min, the max, the average, the standard deviation. Okay. Shield of the Order. What the heck? I don't know what that is. Replaces Oathbringer and Shield of the Order. Rock chance. I am going to do this one. Hold on. Reroll. Reroll. I get an XP? Nah, we just get rerolls. Dodge charges, that'll help us out some. So then after that, I'd have to enter all that into a series of calculators that would eventually spit me out the information that I needed. Then once that information was there, I'd have to take that, I'd have to enter that into a spreadsheet that would then make it look all nice and have it in nice, easy to read tables so that I could use it later. And I mean, that's like, I'm not kidding. It was like 5 different calculators I've been scrolling through a while. There's like 5 different calculators I was having to run all this stuff through. So if I make the app that I enter the data in, right, one time, and except for the muzzle loss, you got all that, the data that's like not permanent, you have to enter it all the time. But enters that in, takes my data, does all of those calculations for me, and then spits me out the tables in the same or very similar format, gets me to the same exact like percentile for making things, or for accuracy. I think that is really good. Oh, and it's not just one thing at one time. It will have different profiles for different systems. So if, some of these guys that do this, like these X-class, these F-class shooter guys, they have like 10 different systems that they have set up and going at any given time, because they're like the professional sports level of that discipline, right? So they have like 10 different things. Imagine if you had that, and instead of having to like do that or whatever, again, I don't know if this type of program already exists, then I mean, you're gonna be able to, that is like really good. And then like, so I want it to be primarily a desktop app, right? I want it to not call out to, like, I want it to be local. I don't want it to be like some of these apps where you connect, you download it, and then it's like you mess with it for 5 minutes, and then it's like, oh, you have to connect to our servers and all this. That makes that stuff insecure. Excuse me. That makes that stuff insecure. And additionally, I want it to be a mobile app that you can like link with that, so you can I want it to link with that on your mobile app, so that way you can pass that data to your own self, and you can store it all, all on your own. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only thing that it will probably need is the location data, and the location data is going to be strictly so it can connect to a weather app to get you the information. And another thing too is, if you make this into more of a system that I'm talking about, like if you take that a step further and you add, like, they have these things called shot timers. If you don't know about this stuff, they have these things called shot timers, and you use them on the range to like time your shots and everything. If you have the ability to detect that with, like, say, the phone's microphone, or even a dedicated device that you would like sell, which I'm getting into hardware, electronics, like making those and doing the programming for that. I actually have a couple ideas for different products that I want to make. And if you get that linked up with that, you could even take snapshots of the weather data while you're doing it and not even have to record that either, which would be incredibly useful as well. So when you're there and you got your phone on and it, it accesses your microphone, and then you take your shot and then it hears that, right? Or you have a dedicated device that does that, and it hears that, then it communicates with the app on your phone via Bluetooth or something, and then it records the temperature, the humidity, and you're already obviously going to be at the same altitude unless you're shooting from high to low or low to high, depending on where you're at. But anyways, I think that would be insanely awesome to do. And I just think about like all the stuff, all the practical applications that would have. And then an idea like that, if you were able to get that out and get that functional, get the form factor right and the programming right and everything like that to where it was really good, I would bet money that I could sell it to one of these people that have those higher end scientific devices or ranges or work with them, and they, so that way we could get more accurate data to the end user. And at that point though, I mean, you're talking about nearly exclusively selling to military and police, because not many civilians would be interested in stuff like this. Not many people are going to be interested or have the use case for what I'm talking about anyway, just because of just by nature of, like, there's not very many that level of marksman that I'm talking about in the world anyways. I mean, you're talking maybe and I stress highly, maybe 20,000 people worldwide are in this group of people that can, and I'm one of them, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, that might be a really low number. Obviously, like if you're in America, the quote unquote the shooting sports are very, very lucrative. I mean, it's like a billions-dollar industry, but I don't know what to see. Where is, there they are. But one of these was close to being maxed out. Abilities. So yeah, I hope that I can get that to work out. Just because for my own use case, my own personal use, And then also, like, some of the guys that I've trained with doing this, both the instructors and the people, I'll get into contact with them and I can have them test it out. And if they don't already use something like that or have something like that or are set in their ways, a lot of these guys that do that are like, they're older dudes. And so they're like, I've been using Excel spreadsheets since the 80s. It's like, that's great, bro, but here's this nice brand new user interface that will make things a lot easier and simpler for you. as well. So it's got kind of the same thing, but it's got even more. 2 hammers, 1 shield. So that's 264. This is still better. How about this one? 1 spear. Huh. I might end up. What's this one do? That's per hit. That's probably going to be the better bet, because if you can get an increase of the amount, which is one of the perks, that would probably be ideal. Sigil of Flames. It's all interesting stuff. This is a pretty fun game. There's a lot to this. And I hope as time goes on that they really improve this. Because like I said, you know, like there's 2 question marks up here that you can't really get to. I would have thought you'd have found them before. Additionally, there's all these areas that you can't access. But I don't know if that is a result of me having not beaten everything or what. It's like this whole ocean area out here too. And then there's like this. So there's, well, it's just a landmark, but there's no way to attack this or do anything with it. Like hit this, I got 43. Hit that, it tells you, right? And there's a couple of there's here and up here too. So bonus health, power all damage. This critical hit damage. Just level up things as we go on. If you're playing this and you really want to get like a lot of resources and stuff, first of all, complete all the things you see at different tiers. It gets you stuff. But after that, go on over to these and level this up, but inside here you get a buttload of these little money thingies. Oh crap, no, go away. No, return. I was trying to get this movement speed 7. I would rather have that. There we go. A little bit leveled up. And it would probably be better if I did these other things and finished them out to level stuff up. You end up getting armor, permanent stat increase. Lock a race. There's all kinds of stuff here I still haven't unlocked, but I kind of like playing the way that I play. And I don't know, I haven't looked, but I don't think that there is trophies or achievements with this when you're doing any. Critical hit chance. I should have leveled that up. Anyway, I'm gonna get off here. I don't know. I'll probably end up doing a stream tomorrow. Maybe I'll start do like a Skyrim or Oblivion or something like that, like one of these longer RPG style games, so we can have like a little bit longer of a series going on. I don't know, but if you stayed with me this long and you're watching or whatever, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. I look forward to talking with you guys and hanging out and doing stuff. I'm sorry if I don't get to you right away, because I'm new at streaming. I tend to not look at the chat because it's just new to me. But bear with me, we'll get better. My streams will get better, my video quality will get better, my ramblings will get better. All of that as I learn. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. This is Hakakura. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, follow, check out the links. Come hang out with me when I'm live streaming. I look forward to seeing you all, meeting you all, making new friends. So I'll see you guys. Bye bye.